Let's go on over here to Job, the 30th chapter. And let's see what the Lord got for us this evening. Everybody all right? Everybody cool? He just gave us something to consider. He just wants y'all to consider, man. Man say he love you. He say those he love, he chasten. And he say he beat, he scourged every son whom he received. If the Lord ain't cared nothing about you, he didn't let you stay stupid. He wouldn't even say nothing to you for you to cause you to consider. Job 30:1. He said, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. So now we're going to stop and we're going to pause right here. This man say they that are younger than I have him in derision. Y'all know what it means to have something in derision? You know what I mean?
Derision?
Derision. Derision is like, I'm not going to give the textbook definition of it, but basically they got me confused. They got me messed up. They got me bent. I'm in a bad state right now. You know what I'm talking about? And you know what he said? He said people who younger than me. So obviously, if we sit back and look at this here, this is Job talking. Because if you look at Job 29:1, it says Job speaking in a parable. So we know Job speaking in a parable. What you looking for? If we know that Job is speaking in a parable, we know that Job speaking a dark sentence. And you know what that would tell us if Job speaking a dark sentence? Job is a prophet. And he's testifying to Yahshua. But let's see how he say those that are younger than him got him in derision. Let's go over here to the law of Genesis 25. Let's see what the Lord got for us to understand.
I know that it's black. If you younger than me, nigga, you got me bent.
Straight up, that's what I'm telling you. You younger than me, and y'all got me around here messed up. You know what I'm saying? That's how you got to say, you know that's a black man. How you gonna be younger than me selling out to me? See how this gonna work? This can't work. Genesis 25, what I'm looking at now? Genesis 25 and 22. Make it 21. Genesis 25 and 21. Y'all bear with me this evening. Y'all, let's see if we just got a little bit of time for the Lord tonight. Do we have a little bit of time for the Lord tonight? Or do we got some time for some other thing? Oh, we got some time for the Lord tonight. I'm crazy we got some time for the Lord tonight. He said, Isaac entreated Yah for his wife because she was barren. Yah was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And Yah and the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yah. And Yah said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Now why is this important? Does anybody know what this means, that the elder going to serve the younger? Because this man said the people that are younger than me, they have me in derision. Well, let's see what it means that the elder going to serve the younger. Come on around here to John, the 1st chapter. John 1 and 1. And then we'll drop down. John 1 and 1. He said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. So now as we drop down a little further, let's look at verse 15. Matter of fact, let's make it 14. That's even better. Let's look at John 1 and 14. Let's look what he says. And the Word was made flesh, and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bare witness of him, and cried, saying, this was he of whom I spake. He that come after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. So John sitting here telling you, this man older than me. He's before me. But we know literally, on a natural level, John the Baptist was older than Yahshua. But John just told you in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. But hold on, because he said the elder going to serve the younger. Come on around here to Matthew 20. Say the elder going to serve the younger. Matthew 20 about verse 25. See, I was talking to somebody about a particular matter earlier, and that was I don't understand. See, a lot of people look at stuff, that's what pastors and priests come to do. They come to serve the people. That's why he told you to obey them to have rule over you. You don't want to have the people who serve you be grieved. Y'all ever went to a restaurant and people who serving you and you don't do none of that, and you grieve them people? Them people don't give you no good service. They mess around, they might spit in your food. Take a long time to bring you food. Overcharge you on your check or anything. He says that Yahshua called unto him and said, ye know that the princes of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, and they that are great exercise authority upon them. So he's sitting there telling you those that have great authority, they exercise their authority on people. But look what he says. But it shall not be so among you, but whosoever will be great among you, let him be your minister. And whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant. Even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister, and to give his life a ransom for many. That sounds like he came to serve the younger. He said, I came to serve the younger. Because he's the firstborn of the Father. He's older than everybody. Now he just said that younger people got him in derision. Let's see how these young people got him in derision. We're already in Matthew. Let's look at about chapter 27. Matter of fact, make it 26, because they were condemning Job, and this is why Job sitting here saying they got me in derision. So when we look at 26 and 57, let's see how these people got him in derision. Because you know what Job's two friends were doing? Anybody know what Job's two friends were doing? Come on over here about Job 41. Let me see where it's at. Job 42 and 7. He said, it was so, that after y'all had spoken these words unto Job, y'all said unto Eliphaz the Temanite, my wrath is kindled against thee and against thy two friends, for you have not spoken of me the thing that is right, as my servant Job hath. Because you know what these men were doing. Let me go back and find the other chapter. I think it's about 34. Now you just heard what he said. They weren't speaking the things that were right. It might be chapter 31. Get over here to 31. That's where he's going. That's when the young man go up and he really go off on. I can't remember what the verse is off the top of my head. It's not coming to mind. But what he told that these men accused Job having no evidence. They accused Job of being a sinner because things had fallen upon him. And see, sometimes a lot of people in the earth, they do these things. They see you suffering and they automatically assume that God is against you or you done some manner of evil. And see, when we go back, as we get back ready to go back over here to Matthew, you're going to see that these people automatically assume that this man was a sinner. They even did it with Paul. When Paul got through that shipwreck and that serpent and that Bible did it, they said this man got to be a sinner. He's got to be a murderer. He's got to be something. Look at all the stuff that's befalling him. And see, with some of y'all, when stuff begin to fall upon y'all, y'all begin to think that God is not with me. When you're not sitting back looking at it, that suffering, meaning God is with you. If you walking in faith, you walking in that obedience. Back to Matthew 26. Because he said, these men got me in derision. Now, let me pull that up to get the precise definition. You might go, I don't know, you might beat me to it. You gonna beat me to it? Okay. Matthew 26 and 57. He said, they that had laid hold on Yahshua led him away to captives. The high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled. But Peter followed them afar off into the high priest's palace and went in and sat with the servants to see the end. Now the chief priests and elders and all the council saw false witness against Yahshua to put him to death, but found none. And though many false witnesses came, yet found they none, and at the last came two false witnesses. So you see that those that are younger, they got him in derision. They lying on him. They seeking to do all these things to him. Just throwing all manner of false accusations. We could go all through the book, through the Gospels, and see where these people were throwing false accusations at. You got it? All right, well, come on back over here to Job 30. Because this man said his fathers, I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. Y'all know what it means to disdain. He would even hated to set him with his people. Come on, Matthew 23. He said, I would even hate to set these people with my people. He said they fathers now. Let's look at Matthew 23, about verse 33. Matter of fact, make it 30. Make it 29. Matthew 23 and 29. He said, I wouldn't even set you with the dogs of my flock. You know, if he's saying the dogs of his flock, he's talking about the least. I wouldn't even set you with the least. He said, woe unto you scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you build the tombs of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous. And say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Wherefore you be witnesses unto yourselves that you are children of them which killed the prophets. Fill you up then the measure of your fathers. You already told me. See, he said, you sitting here, y'all done bear witness, y'all are children of those that killed the prophet. And he said, guess what? I hope you get their blood on their hands so you could die. That's what he just told them. Fill you up the measure of your fathers. They got blood on their hands. I hope you get blood on your hands, and God required.
This is ridicule and mockery.
Ridicule and mockery.
Yeah, object of ridicule.
Huh?
Object of ridicule.
You know what I'm saying? Object of ridicule. We just read last night when people were mocking this man. When they said, you the son of God, come on off the cross. Because that's all Job's friends were doing, were ridiculing and mocking him. Some of y'all been ridiculed and mocked for doing wrong and get offended. But guess what? If you don't want to be ridiculed and mocked, don't do wrong. Then some of y'all get ridiculed and mocked for keeping the word, and you still get upset when the man told you to rejoice. And that's why he ain't going to bless you. Because he say, blessed are you when man persecutes you and separate yourself from their company for my name's sake. Some of y'all get persecuted and ridiculed for the word, and you still don't be happy. You still want to try to stand up and defend yourself instead of just taking it. Well, we sit here and read where this man was threatened, and he didn't threaten back. And when he was reviled, he didn't revile back. We just read last night where they ridiculed this man now. Constantly. So guess what? If we're going to sit here and eat the bread of affliction, symbolizing what we did on unleavened bread on the Lord's Supper, why y'all can't take that derision? Why y'all can't take that ridicule or mockery? What's my base definition close to it?
No, not really.
Yeah, the same thing I was thinking. Well, come on back to it. Let's look at verse 34.
Yeah, another way.
Now it's the same. Basically, you talking trash though. And I don't like it. Say, wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them they shall kill and crucify, and some of them shall you scourge in your synagogues and persecute them from city to city. That upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of the righteous Abel unto the blood of Zachariah son of Barachiah, whom you slew between the temple and the altar. So when we sit back and look at it, he said, your fathers, he said, I hated them. When he's sitting here telling you that the blood gonna come on, he's sitting here telling you, I hated these people. I hated these people. We could sit back and read where he said he abhorred his own inheritance, where God said, I hate my own people. And why did he hate his own people? The continual disobedience, distrust, and doubt of him. He said, I hate these people. Because when we turn around and do that, we're telling God, we hate you. We don't want to be in the part where we're telling God that we hate him. Somebody told me, man, that's a little too rough. I don't think people hate God. That man said, if you disobey my word, you hate me. You despise me. Now, how many of y'all willing to swallow that pill? That you know you've been living your life for an extended period of time despising God. Not a man that's so forth to have mercy on you, and you still despise him. Because you feel like his way is a burden to you. It seems like you're trying to fit him into your life instead of making your life fit into him. We can't have things backwards like this here. Back to Job 30. We can't have things backwards like this here. Job 30 and 2. He said, yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, and whom old age was perished? For want and famine they were solitary, flying into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. To dwell in the cliffs of the valleys and the caves of the earth and in the rocks. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of those base men. They were viler than the earth. So when we sit back and look at it, we just dealt with men he talked about were viler than the earth, didn't we? Base men, you know what it means to be a base man, don't you? You're a man of low estate, a low degree. Come on over here to Matthew 23 one more time, because he said these men are base and viler than the earth. Let's see how. 26 of Matthew 23. Matter of fact, make it 24. 23 and 24. Then we come over here to Matthew 26. Let's see if they came after him as a thief. He said, you blind guides which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. See, it's a lot of these people out here teaching his word. They straining at a gnat, swallowing a camel. They like to swing at the small stuff. They don't like to deal with the real stuff. He said, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you may clean outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. He said, we came out of this ground here be looking like we righteous, but inside we disgusting. Thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that which is in the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but within are full of dead man's bones and of all uncleanness. He say, even so, ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within you are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. So we can't be hypocrites and be full of sin in our hearts. See, Jews love to scream that our righteousness got to exceed the scribes and the Pharisees. And the things that they be forgetting to mention when the Lord told you this, the scribes and the Pharisees were hypocrites. He said he had told you in the first verse of this very same chapter, or about the third verse, to observe what they tell you to do, but don't do after they work, because they teaching you not to sin, but they sin. We don't want to be walking around here to be seen as we're righteous. See, come on around here to 1 Samuel 16. First Samuel 16, verse 7 now. He said, but y'all said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For y'all see not as man see, for man look outward appearance, but y'all look on the heart. And see, that was the thing. See, come back to Matthew 23. See, that's how man do. See, man look on how you look on the outside. See, but God looking on what's in your heart. Y'all bear with me. We're getting off the beaten trail a little bit, but the Lord taking us in a direction. See, Matthew 23 and about verse 5. Then we go to John 7. Then I think Titus come to mind. Y'all just bear with me. He said, but all their works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their fallacies and enlarge the border of their garments, and love the uppermost room at feasts, and the chief seats in the synagogues, and greetings in the markets, to be called of men, Rabbi, Rabbi. But be ye not called Rabbi, for one is your master, even the Messiah, and all ye are brethren. And call no man your father upon the earth, for one is your Father which is in heaven. Neither be called ye masters, for one is your master, even the Messiah. But he that is great among you, he shall be your servant. Whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. He said, but woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you shut up the kingdom of heaven against men, for you neither go in yourselves, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in. So while we sit back and look at it, this is what he's talking about these men want to do. They want to appear righteous unto people, because they're not trying to get in God's kingdom, and they're trying to inhibit other people from getting in. Now we have to sit back and look at it on ourselves. All of us ain't teachers, but we have to sit back and look at it. Are we trying to appear righteous before men? Are we trying to outwardly appear righteous before men? Because he say man look on outward appearance. Y'all look on the heart. Because ain't that's what y'all two are doing right now. He's saying y'all looking this way on the outside, isn't it? He said, but I know your heart is full of hypocrisy and iniquity. We have to sit back and look at it. Are we appearing righteous before people, but inwardly we're filthy? And by the fact that we're appearing to be righteous, we trying to actually hold up other people to get in God's kingdom, because we're not trying to get in there. Did this man tell you to strive to enter in at the straight gate? Because many going to try to get in there, and they're not going to be able. We have to consider these things. Come on down here to John 7. John 7 and 20. Make it 19. Listen what he tells us. He said, did not Moses give you the law, and yet none of you keep the law? Why go ye about to kill me? The people answered and said, thou hast a devil. Who go about to kill thee? Yahshua answered and said unto them, I have done one work, and ye all marvel. Moses therefore gave unto you circumcision, not because it is of Moses, but of the fathers, and ye on the Sabbath day circumcise a man. If a man on the Sabbath day receives circumcision that the law of Moses should not be broken, are you angry at me, because I've made a man every whit whole on the Sabbath day? He said, judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. See, that's what he was telling you going back with David, wasn't it? He said, don't judge based off what you see. He said, judge based on according to righteous judgment. That means judge based off what the Word say. We have to sit back and look at, are we in line with what the Word say? Because men gonna look on that outside. Men gonna be like, boy, that brother righteous. That brother do this. That brother do that. That brother do this. You know what I'm talking about? But we gotta sit back and look at it. Do we line up with the Word with it? Titus 1 and 15. Titus 1 and 15. what we're dealing with this for, y'all. We're trying to walk the road to perfection. We're trying to be perfected. Y'all not going to be perfected. Still holding on to certain things. Still, well, this is not number one in your life. That you've not taken the more earnest heed to the things that you have heard. You're going to mess around and they're going to slip. He said, unto the pure all things are pure. But unto them that are defiled and unbelieving, nothing is pure. But even their mind and conscience is defiled. You have to sit back and look at that. Anything that comes from God's word, that's pure. He said, but guess what? If you defile from committing sin and you unbelieving, he said, ain't nothing that comes from God gonna be pure. That's why some of y'all be like this here, I got to do this here. You trying to make God fit in your life instead of making your life fit in with God. Because the stuff ain't pure to you. It still ain't clean and whole to you yet. Then you mess around and do that there. He said, your mind and your conscience defiled. That's a dangerous way to go. He said, they profess that they know God, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient to every good work reprobate. So that's what we got to sit back and look at it. Are we professing to know God, but in our lifestyle we deny him? Are our mind and conscience defiled? Is our mind and conscience defiled? Because we worried about people looking on, because we ain't talking about how these sinners like to use that. God don't look on the outside, he look on the heart. See, but come on around here to Isaiah 62. Matter of fact, make it Jeremiah 17. Look at Jeremiah 17 first. Jeremiah 17 about verse 14. We get back to Job 30 if the Lord permit. Y'all just bear with me. No, back me up. Jeremiah 17 and about verse 9. Matter of fact, make it verse 7. Matter of fact, make it verse 5. Lord got something to tell somebody now. It helps somebody out. It may give somebody a joke, like a good fresh cup of coffee in the morning, though I wouldn't know how I feel because I don't drink it, but I heard it wakes you up quite quickly. He said, thus saith Yah, cursed be the man that trusts in man and make flesh his arm, whose heart depart from Yah. This man already told you that we're supposed to warn each other while the day is the day, lest you get develop an evil heart of unbelief and departing from the living God. Y'all be wondering why I can be hard on y'all at times and exhort and warn y'all at times about stuff, so you don't get an evil heart of unbelief in you. And mess around and you depart from God and you find yourself burning in the hell with fire and worms. It's just that serious. He said, for he shall be like the heath in the desert, and shall not see when good come, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, and a salt land not inhabited. But blessed is the man that trusts in Yah, whose hope Yah is. See, guess what? That man said you blessed when you trust God, and God is your hope. A lot of y'all ain't blessed because you don't trust God, and he's not your hope. Because faith is the evidence of things hoped for and not seen. God is not your hope. That's why you ain't blessed. Because people love to run and scream that they blessed. This man said you blessed when you trust in me and I'm your hope. See, a lot of y'all, you're hoping yourself. Some of y'all hoping your job. Some of y'all hoping your family members. Some of y'all hoping your spouses. Some of y'all hoping everything but y'all. And you're not going to be blessed. That's why I sat here and told you earlier. Y'all try to fight the derision and persecution and ridicule and people separating themselves from you. You're not going to be blessed. You're losing the blessing. We're talking about getting your name written in heaven. Stop being worried about being blessed here on this earth. Why don't you be more concerned with being blessed at the resurrection of the just? Why ain't that the first and foremost blessing you're trying to receive? Stop thinking like stupid people that go to Sunday churches listening to lies. Stop thinking like that. Yeah, the Lord will make your time here on this earth easier while you dwell in these people's captivity. While you dwell in this wicked and horrible place. Yeah, He'll make sure to set things up in your way, the way He favored you, the way you can have things a little easier where you're going. But you need to be more concerned about being blessed in the regeneration. You need to be about being blessed with the gift of the living God, which is the Ruach HaKodesh, which gives life to all who receive it. That's when you're blessed. You're not blessed, you ain't got that. Look what else He say. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and to spread out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat come, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. Now y'all know that's a testimony of your Savior right there, don't you? Y'all do know that. Do you know that one? Did you know that verse 8 was a testimony? Didn't He say, blessed is the man who trusts in Yah, who hope Yah is? Didn't Yahshua have trust in his God? Didn't He say, I know you won't leave my flesh rest and hope, but you won't leave your cold as one in corruption? Man said, I'm going to make you a tree now, planted by waters. Ain't He the tree of life? Didn't He say, I'm the vine? And He said, look what He told you now. And He said, you're going to Spread out your roots by the river, and you're not going to see heat, and you're going to bear fruit. And he said, you never cease from yielding fruit. Then he said, as long as you dwell in me and I dwell in you, you'll bear fruit. So y'all got to sit back and look at that. Because the man said, if you don't abide in him, he said, you can't do nothing. That's why a lot of y'all can't accomplish nothing, because you're not abiding in the Son of God. You're not going to accomplish nothing. Because he told you that. Psalm 15 and 4, so you can hear him tell you that himself. I'll let you hear the Lord tell you that himself. John 15 and 5, actually. Matter of fact, make it 4. John 15 and 4. He said, abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye, except ye abide in me. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abide in me, and I in him, the same bring forth much fruit. For without me, you can do nothing. And that's the reason why y'all can't accomplish nothing, because you're trying to do it without the Lord. You trust in your own strength. You trust in yourself, thinking you're going to get over and you're going to be able to make things happen on your own. And the Lord going to make you out to be a fool. Come on back to Jeremiah 17. Look at verse 9. Listen what this man tell you. Just listen what this man tell you now. Jeremiah 17 and 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? That's what y'all need to understand. Y'all own mind is desperately wicked. And it's deceitful. It will lie to you. It'll sit there and tell you that what you want to do and the way you want to go is what it is. When the man told you in Proverbs 14 and 12, there's a way that seems right unto a man. See, a lot of the stuff y'all do, it seems right to you. He said, but the end thereof, they're the ways of death. You going to hell. You going to hell. It might seem good to you. It might seem right to you. But that's your heart. That's desperately wicked, deceiving you. And you going to go to hell. See, because this is the mind you got to have. Come on around here to Isaiah. Not matter of fact, don't make it Isaiah 40. Just come on over to 1 Corinthians 2. We get straight on root to the root of the matter. 1 Corinthians 2. Last verse of it. 1 Corinthians 2. About verse 16. Just sit back and consider. Y'all just work with me this evening. Just sit back and consider. 1 Corinthians 2 and 16. He says, who has known the mind of the Lord, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of the Messiah. That's the mind you need to have. Excuse me. That's why we go through this book every week. That's why we read this man's testimony. So you can have his mind. That's why he tell you renew your... Come on around here to Ephesians 4. We ain't doing this here for my help, because I just want to do this here. We're doing it so you can save your soul. Ephesians 4 and 22. Make it 20. Make it 21. This is what he tells you. He said, if so be that you have heard him, have you heard this man? Does this man give us an opportunity to hear? And have been taught by him. Has this man given us an opportunity to be taught by him, that we might learn of him again? As the truth is in Yahshua, that you put on concerning the former behavior, the old man which is corrupt according to deceitful lust. Go that word again. Why don't you put on that old man that's corrupt according to that deceitful heart you got? He said you've been renewed in the spirit of your mind. And that you put on the new man which after God is created in righteousness and true co-destined. How about you do that? Why don't you put on the new man? Why don't you put on Yahshua the Messiah? Why don't you put in his mind? You're trying to keep your mind in his mind, and these two things can't occupy the same space. Man told you the carnal mind is at enmity with the law of God, and it can't be subject unto the law of God, neither indeed can be. You can't keep your mind and have the Lord's mind. You can't do it. You're going to have to lose one. Which one y'all going to lose? Because if you choose the wrong one, you might be going to hell. Ain't no might be. You going to hell. You better make sure you choose the right mind to lose. Come on back over here to Jeremiah 17. I just want you to look at verse 10. Look what he tell you. He said, I searched the heart. I tried the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doing. That's how the Lord going to search your heart out. Because he said he look upon the heart. For him to look upon your heart, Hebrews 4 and 12. Let's see how you do it. He said, I searched the heart and I tried the reins. I prove y'all. Let's see how you do it. Hebrews 4 and 12. Let's see how you do it. Hebrews 4 and 12. For the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. This is how y'all gonna look upon your heart. He gonna try you with his word. See, we can make ourselves look righteous, and we can know what I'm talking about, and we can put on three-piece suits. Y'all can cover y'all head, don't wear no pants, and take that jewelry off. But at the end of the day, that man said, I'm going to try your heart, and I'm going to see what this word going to do. This word going to manifest what's in your heart. That's what we going to do. That's how he do it. He said, I don't look on outward appearance. He said, I'm going to look what's on your heart. And guess what? The Lord saw fit to look upon each and every one of your heart. See, come on around here to 2 Thessalonians 2. Let's just hope this is the case with some of y'all. Let's just hope this is the case with some of y'all. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Verse 13. Let's just hope this is the case. Let's just hope the case when the Lord looked on your heart, that's what he's saying. He said, but we are bound to give thanks always to God for you, brethren, the Lord of the Lord, because God from the beginning had chosen you to salvation through sanctification of the Spirit and belief of the truth. So let's pray that the Lord done seen fair, that when he knew that when you heard his word, you would believe him and walk in it. That you purge out this stuff that's hindering you from getting in man's spirit. Come on back over here to Job 2. Because it's a serious matter. Lord trying to talk to somebody tonight. Somebody might hear it, somebody might not. It might help somebody, it might not. It might save somebody's soul, it might damn somebody's soul. Only the Lord knows. Now let's sit back in here talking about these men were gathered as bushes braided together and came after this man like a thief. Come on back around here to Matthew 26. To see these people bushes braided together, gathering together as a thief. Because some of y'all don't realize people be gathering together against y'all, and you're going back and you're fighting, and you're going to lose your blessing. Matthew 26, about verse 44, make it 45. He said they gathered together as a thief, and they gathered themselves together under nettles. They were children of fools. He said, then come he to his disciples and say unto them, sleep on now, take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand, the Son of Man is betrayed into the hand of sinners. Rise, let us be going. Behold, he is at hand, the dog betrayed me. And while he yet spake, Judas, one of the 12, came with a great multitude, with swords and staves from the chief priests and elders of the people. He said, now he that betrayed me gave them a sign, saying, whomsoever I shall kiss, that same is he, hold him fast. Now I know little Muffin and Dwight should know, who else did that? Gave a man a kiss when he betrayed him. Go over here to Genesis 27 now. So remember, he said the younger one that's younger than him got him in derision, got him in ridicule. Genesis 27. Genesis 27 and about verse Genesis 27 by verse 1, we'll drop down. Bear with me, we're going to roll quick. It came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son and said unto him, my son. He said unto me, behold, here am I. And he said, behold, now I am old, I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field and take me some venison, and make me some savory meat such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying. Now we know what she's going to tell, but you know the difference is, you know why Rebekah would move to tell Jacob to make a move on this? Because y'all already told her who would get the blessing, didn't it? So it makes sense she got to set the field in motion, because this is not for Esau. The elder going to serve the younger, and the younger going to be blessed. See, but come on back down. Let's drop on down a little bit. About verse 9. She said, go now to the flock and fetch me two kids of the goats, and I'll make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loved. Thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, behold, Esau my brother's a hairy man, I am a smooth man. He said, my father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. So guess what? Judas was a deceiver, wasn't he? Let's see if he got a curse on him. Hold this here, come over here to Acts 1. Let's see if this deceiver got a blessing on him. Or did he get a curse? Acts 1 and 16. 15. And in those days, Peter stood up in the midst of the disciples and said, the number of the names together were about 120. Then you hear it said there was 120 disciples, but people so stupid, they think it was just the 12. Because out of the 120, that's where they picked the man to take Judas' place, didn't they? Men and brethren, this scripture must needs have been fulfilled, which the Ruach HaKodesh by the mouth of David spake before concerning Judas, which was a guide to them that took Yahshua. For he was numbered with us and had obtained a part of this ministry. Now this man purchased the field with the reward of iniquity. Falling headlong, he burst asunder in the midst, and all his bowels got out. And it was known unto the dwellers at Jerusalem, insomuch as that field is called in the proper tongue, Al-Kadama, that is to say, the field of blood. So we sit back and see that Judas was the deceiver. We see his reward, he perished. So this is what that Jacob's saying, I'm going to get this here. But let's see what she tells him. Where we at? What verse I at? Verse 13. And his mother said unto him, unto me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice and go fetch me. And we just dealt with it last night in Jeremiah 49, right? He said he'd make him a curse, right? We know that Yahshua took on the curse because God had taken away my reproach. I took it on sin. I took it on death for the people. That's what he went and did. Because we dealt with that last night. We ain't got to go no deeper than that. Now let's drop down. He done with it there. Let's look at verse 19. He said, Jacob said unto his father, I'm Esau, thy firstborn. I've done according as thou bade me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that my soul may bless thee. Bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, how is it thou found it so quickly, my son? And he said, because Yah thy God brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, come near, I pray thee, that I might feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, but he felt him and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned it not, because his hands were hairy, as his brother Esau's hands, so he blessed him. And he said, art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, bring it near to me, and I'll eat of my son's venison, that thy soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father said unto Isaac, come near now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, see, the smell of my son is the smell of the field, which Yah hath blessed. So we sit back and look at it. Come on back to Matthew 26. Then we'll touch the fact that he say, this sweet smell, because he said it smelled, he said the father said, I took it in the smell. It smelled good to me. He said, forthwith he came to Yahshua, this verse 49, and said, hail, master, and kissed him. We know in another gospel, he said, you betrayed the son of man with a kiss. Because we know Jacob means supplanter and deceiver, and when you mess with these old super Hebrews, you know what I'm saying, or unbelievers, they be quick to go off on stuff. When it goes to talking about that. Yeah, hold on one second, y'all. Spanking things messing up. Because they'll be like, oh, Jacob was a deceiver. Jacob stole the birthright. Jacob did this. Jacob did that. Jacob just did what was according to the word. He just did what he had to do. All the things testify of the Lord. But come on back over here to Ephesians 5. He said he smelled something and he took it in. And he was like, this is the smell of the field which y'all blessed. It was a sweet smell to him. We got to make sure that we a sweet smell to the Lord. Ephesians 5 and 1. He said, be ye therefore followers of God as dear children, and walk in love as the Messiah also loved us, and have given himself for us an offering, a sacrifice to God for a sweet smelling savor. You need to make sure that when God taking that aroma of your works of the sacrifice of you making your body a living sacrifice, that it's a sweet smell to him the same way Isaac took in a sweet smell. This is why we be on you about pay attention. Make God the first and foremost thing in your life. Stop making this thing like it's a burden and a drag on you to serve the living God. Make yourself walk before this man in love, man. Love God and keep his commandments. That's one of the fruits of the Spirit is love and joy and faith and peace. And you wonder why you don't have no joy and you don't have no peace, because you ain't got no faith, because you don't love God as you're supposed to. You're not 100% in. Everybody wants the Spirit, but you're not fully invested. You got to be fully invested. Know your God, know you. We get too much information from this man not to be fully invested. Entirely too much. Come on back over here to Job 30. We in verse 9. We might get to another spot eventually. Who knows? We got a lot of stuff this evening. Got a whole lot of stuff this evening. Job 30 and 9. He said these people were viler than the people of the earth. We did already dealt with that in Matthew 23 already. He said, now I am their song, yea, I am their byword. They abhor me. They flee far from me, and spare not to spit in my face. Because he hath loosed my cord, and afflicted me. They have also let loose the bridle before me. He said, upon my right hand rise the youth. They push away my feet. They raise up against me the ways of their destruction. They mar my path. They set forward my calamity. They have no helper. They come upon me as a wild breaking in waters. And desolation, in the desolation they roll themselves upon me. Terrors are turned upon me. They pursue my soul as the wind, and my welfare pass away as a cloud. Now as we begin to back up, he said these people have, now he's their song. He's a byword. That means he's a taunt. They call him names. Oh, you want y'all? He wants pink people. Yeah, you know I did, because he just thought there was only one there. This guy here. Now he's going to be a byword in a minute. He said they abhor me, they flee far from me, and they don't spare to spit in my face. Let's see if he these people byword. Let's look in Luke. Let's look in Luke 23. Let's see if he these people byword. Let's see if they spit in their face. Let's see if people flee from it. See, a lot of y'all willing to take people spitting in your face. Y'all willing to take people hating you. Y'all willing to take people fleeing from you. Y'all can take that. Or is you worried about pleasing people and people still being with you? Y'all go ahead and tell me the truth now. No, Luke 23 and 32. He said there were two also. There were also two other malefactors led with him to be put to death. And when they were come to the place which is called Calvary, they crucified him, and the malefactors, one on the right hand, the other on the left. Then said Yahshua, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they parted his raiment and cast lots. Which one of y'all know why this man said that? Any of y'all know why this man said that? Why did this man say this? I told you one reason and there's another. See, he said he remembered, but he done forgot. Now he should get 39 flashes, not 40, because then we will be beating our brother beyond measure. But remember the law, if a man sinned by ignorance, that they would have to poke that offering in the side. And then remember, we just seen not too long ago, I intended to go over it, but we didn't get to go over it, when King Hezekiah said the people who did not keep the Passover according to the manner how it was supposed to be kept, and he prayed that Yah would pardon everyone. But remember, we showed the one out of Leviticus 4, out of the law. Because remember, they spoke Yahshua on the side, didn't they? Took out his kidneys. Just like you had to do with that sacrifice for those who sin out of ignorance. You got people just think he said that for no reason. But now we have two witnesses to establish. Yahshua just ain't say that for no reason. Verse 35. And the people stood beholding, and the rulers also with them derided him. Uh-oh, there go that word, didn't they? They derided him, didn't they? Meaning they began to ridicule him. Saying, he saved others, let him save himself. If he be the Messiah, the chosen of God. And the soldiers also mocked him, coming to him, offering him vinegar, and saying, if thou be the king of the Jews, save thyself. And a superscription also written over him in the letters of Greek and Latin and Hebrew, this is the king of the Jews. And one of the malefactors which were hanging railed on him, saying, if thou be the Messiah, save thyself and us. It sounds like to me that these people have made him a byword in their song now, doesn't it? To go along with the younger people got him in derision. They're mocking the man. But let's see if these people didn't even fail to spit in his face. And let's see if they hated him and flee from him. Come on to Matthew 27. So we have to sit back and look at these things, all these afflictions this man took on for our name's sake, and yet we can't trust him. Matthew 27 and 27. All these afflictions that came upon this man, but we don't want to take these same afflictions on. I want to deal with the Ark of the Testimony. We might get to it tomorrow, later on the Sabbath day, the Lord see fit, or we might not. It's up to the Lord. It ain't up to me. He said, then the soldiers of the governor took Yahshua into the common hall, and gathered unto him the whole band of soldiers, and they stripped him and put on him a scarlet robe. And when they had planted a crown of thorns, they put it upon his head, and a reed in his right hand, and they bowed the knee before him, and mocked him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews! And they spit upon him, and took a reed, and smote him on the head. And after they had mocked him, they took the robe off him, and put on his own raiment, and led him away to crucify him. That sounds like to me again, they made this man a song. Now who are those that abhor him and flee far from it? Who knows who this is who abhor him and flee far from it? Yes, it is. Matthew 26, verse 31. He said, then said Yahshua unto them, all ye shall be offended because of me this night. For it is written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock shall be scattered abroad. But after I am risen again, I will go before you into Galilee. So it's sitting up there. These people, they flee. Because you know when they snatched and Peter said, I ain't going to do this here, but Peter went to cursing. He went to speaking curses to these people. Man, I don't know this man. You already know. You got to hate somebody. You go to cursing people about, man, I don't know this man. Now you don't sit there and ask yourself, are y'all going to go to cursing people when these people come after you about this man? We just read last night they're going to put some of y'all in captivity. He said, but fear none of the things which you shall suffer. But be steadfast unto the end, I give you a crown of life. How many of y'all willing to take that when it comes? Some of y'all going to be like, man, I don't know no Yahshua. I don't know no Jesus. I don't know that nigga. I'm straight. I don't know him. Some of y'all, as soon as that pressure comes, that's what you going to do. You going to deny it. You going to deny it. Job 30. Let's see what else he said. How they say he marred his path and they set forth his calamity and he ain't have no helper. Then he say terrors turned upon, they pursue his soul. Let's see what the terrors is. Matthew 26 and 39. Then we'll get to that down. Matter of fact, make it 36. Then come Yahshua with him unto a place called Jessamine, and saith unto the disciples, Sit ye here while I go and pray yonder. And he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. And he saith unto them, My soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even to death. Tarry ye here and watch with me. Your soul is exceedingly sorrowful to death. That's some terror, ain't it? But we know that Paul talked about terrors that he faced, but he stood firm. Matter of fact, let's see about it. Let's see about it. I think it's 1 Corinthians 4. Praise the Lord. He took me straight on to it. 1 Corinthians 4. Make it verse 10. Matter of fact, make it verse 9. 1 Corinthians 4 and 9. Everybody all right? We'll make sure everybody cool now. He said, For I think that God has set forth us the apostles last as it were appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world and to angels and to men. For we are fools for the Messiah's sake. But ye are wise in the Messiah. So y'all don't even sit back and look at it. People think that individuals as myself are fooled and we stupid and we retarded because we willing to suffer all these things for this man. We willing to preach this man, and people think that you got to be utterly stupid. He said, but for what perceived to be foolishness in us, that's wisdom for y'all. Why do you think we be so hard on y'all about paying attention and hearkening to the word and focusing on the word? Because I'm going to be deemed to be a fool. Y'all going to be deemed to be wise because you get the wisdom which is in Yahshua. You have to consider that. He said, for we are fools for the Messiah's sake, but ye are wise in the Messiah. We are weak, but you are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised. You have to sit back and look at it. We in a lower state to be able to strengthen y'all. Y'all don't even sit back and look at that. I'm in a weakened state, so y'all can be strong. Y'all can be honorable, but people going to hate me. Y'all ain't got to bear that. When people go to talking trash and doing all that, they're about this and saying, who they going to come at? They going to come at y'all, is it? Because they ain't going to see y'all. They going to see the man who's running his mouth. I'm going to talk about him. Y'all don't even see that. Y'all going to be honorable. I'm going to be the one to be despised. Because I got to take this man's sufferings on if I'm going to stand out here and represent him. You have to consider that. Look at that. Look what he say now. Even unto this present hour, we both hunger and thirst and are naked and are buffeted and have no certain dwelling place and labor, working with our own hands, being reviled, we bless. Being persecuted, we suffer. Being defamed, we entreat. And we are made as the filth of the world and the offspring of all things unto this day. So you sit back and look at that. This man said, you're going to be defamed. People going to speak ill of you falsely. He said, but we're going to entreat them though. He said we're going to be made as filth and offscouring. He said offscouring. Just stuff, just utter waste. Just stuff people just disgusted at. He said we're going to be like that to the end of the day. To this very day. You got to sit back and look at that. Y'all willing to take that on? Would y'all be willing to hunger and thirst? Have no clothes? Have people around there bothering you and don't even know where you're going to live at? To be persecuted and suffer? That people speak bad on you and curse you and you bless them? You have to sit back and look at it. Yahshua did all these things. Now, if we're going to take this man's sufferings on, I've been sitting here telling y'all repeatedly, we're supposed to be walking after and mimicking his behavior. Same way we just seen Jacob put on the firstborn, put on the elder. We're supposed to be doing the same thing. That's why he said, we're the congregation, the assembly of the firstborn of Yahshua the Messiah. He the firstborn. We're supposed to be the body of the firstborn. He's the firstborn of all creation. Man just said the elder gonna serve the younger. That's why he say people younger, that my younger siblings got me, they ridiculing me. We sitting here saying we gonna be a part of the firstborn and we ridiculing it because we don't trust him, we don't believe in him, we won't walk in him. We won't even take the time to pay attention to him. We sitting here ridiculing him because we feel like it's such a drag and a burden to do the things that please him. We can't be like that no more, y'all. We got to clean these things up. Come on back over here. Then he said they mar his path. He said they rise up against him in the ways of destruction. He said he done loosed his cord. See, come on back over here to look at him where he loosed his cord. Come back over here to Luke. Let's see if this Luke that I want. Where he loosed his cord. And now he done put affliction on him. No, it was that same John 19 that we read the other day. But we'll use matter of fact, come over here to Luke 20 real fast. Because he just said these people upon their right hand rise the youth and they push away my feet and raise up against me the ways of their destruction, the marred path to set forth his calamity, and he had no helper. I want you to sit back and look at something. I want you to look at Luke 20. And I want you to look at verse 17. Look what these people say. He said, he beheld them and said, what is this then that is written? The stone which the builders rejected, the same has become the head of the corner. Whosoever shall fall upon that stone shall be broken, but on whomsoever shall fall it will grind into powder. And the chief priests and scribes the same hour sought to lay hands on him. And they feared the people, for they perceived that he had spoken this parable against them. And they watched him. And they sent forth spies which had feigned themselves just men, that they might take hold of his words, so that they might deliver him unto the power and the authority of the governor. See that again? That's sitting back talking about we done send an ambassador unto the heathen. These people sitting back trying to say how we can take this man. Ain't that people on his right hand rising up to you to push away his feet, to raise up against him the way of their destruction so they can kill him? Now y'all better sit back. These people gonna come do us like that. They gonna send forth spies. That goes back to what we looked at last night. They gonna corrupt you by flatterers. He says people gonna kick you out of the synagogue and kill you and think they do God's service. Y'all ready for that? Is you really ready for that? Do y'all really know what you're getting yourself joined to and whatnot? And is you ready for it? Is you ready for it? Because this thing is serious. It's serious than what you know. I ain't talking about all that crap when these niggas talking about, yeah, these people might throw you in some FEMA camp. Yeah, these people got all that there. But guess what, though? If you seal with the Ruach HaKodesh, you know that he won't suffer you to see corruption, that Yahshua raised up at the last day. It wouldn't put no fear in your heart. It wouldn't put no fear in your heart. If you had trust in your God, like the man told you, you wouldn't have no fear in your heart, because your hope would be in God. Just sit back and consider it now. Because this man said this thing ain't for you, man. You might want to wear it out, see if you got sufficient to pay the price. You gotta ask yourself, you got enough to pay for this? You willing to go all the way? You willing to drink the cup this man drank from? Is you willing to sip it? I don't know now. Back to Job 30. Let's see how he talking about he done loosed this cord though. Let's go over here back and let's see what it is when he loosed his cord. He say he done loosed his cord. It's probably gonna let's go to John 19. He said he done loosed the cord of affliction. No, it's going to have to be the one in Matthew. I think that's what he told, or Mark. I think because I'm looking to kill two birds with one stone. I think it's Mark where he told that. So we can look over here and see where it is in Mark. If that's where he told him that, that's not where it's at. Then it's got to be Matthew. I don't want to get away too fast what I'm looking for. Yeah, it's Matthew where he told him that. He said he loosed his cord, loosed my cord and afflicted me. They have also let loose their bridle before me. Then he also said that he has no helper as they set forward his calamity. Matthew 26 and about verse 52. He said, then said Joshua unto him, put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Think thou that I cannot pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels? But how then shall the scripture be fulfilled that it thus it might be? Because he said, I can pray, but I ain't got no help, but these angels ain't going to come get me. See, now come over here to Matthew 27, let's see what he's saying. Because he said he ain't got no help. Matter of fact, hold on. Drop down and look at verse 20 and see what he tells you. Matter of fact, make it 18. Well, we'll read verse 16 to get it up, to kill this, so to wrap this up, so I can go to the next chapter. He said, now my soul is poured out upon me. The days of affliction have taken hold upon me. We just read that last night. Didn't he pray to have that cup taken from him? Because that affliction was on him, and he poured out his soul, because affliction done taken on him. We just read, he said, my soul exceedingly sorrowful to death. We just read last night. That man said, you're going to drink this cup. He said, assuredly, you're going to drink it. He said, it's in your judgment you're not going to drink it, but you're going to drink it. And that's when it goes back there again. Y'all willing to drink the cup this man drank from? Because this man just said, my soul is poured out upon me, the days of affliction have taken hold upon me. My bones are pierced me in the night season, and my sinews take no rest. He said he can't even sleep. Because this man said, didn't he stay up and pray all night? Y'all do know that he stayed up and prayed all night, didn't he? He said he couldn't get no rest. Listen what he said in verse 18. By great force of my diseases my garment changed. It bind me about as the collar of my coat. He hath cast me into the mire. I become like dust and ashes. I cry unto thee, and thou dost not hear me. I stand up, thou regard me not. Because he said, if I cry out, you ain't heard me. He said, I ain't got no helper. Matthew 27 and 46. Make it 45. He said, I ain't got no helper. He said, now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land until the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour, Yahshua cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, that is to say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Man said, I cried unto you, didn't hear me. See, a lot of y'all think the Lord, y'all crying to the Lord, he don't hear me. Maybe he don't hear you because he's trying to take you through affliction to make you out perfect. That man said, he cried out to me. He said, I ain't got no helper. He said, they done set forth my calamity. They done took the man and put him up on the cross to kill him. He said, I ain't got nobody to help me. He said, I cried out to you. You didn't even regard me. Look what he said in verse 21 of Job 30th chapter. Job 30 and 21. He said, thou art become cruel to me with thy strong hand. Thou opposest thyself against me. Romans 8. He said, with his strong hand you oppose. We already know Isaiah 53 tell you what, man, it pleases y'all to bruising. He made a soul offering for sin. You don't even sit back and look. It pleased God to bruise some of y'all. Man told you, I scourge every son I receive. He said, if you take chastening, I receive you as a son. He said, but if you reject the chastening which all our partakers are, you a bastard. You ain't no son. You're not going to be a son and you ain't willing to take no chastisement. Romans 8 and about verse 27. He said, he searched the heart to know what is the mind of the Spirit, because he made intercession for the saints according to the will of God. We know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. I've been telling y'all that for the last few weeks. I think some of y'all still don't believe it. I think some of y'all still don't believe that all things work good to them who love God and called according to his purpose. One day, if the Lord see fit, we'll sit down and show you examples. It happened with David. It happened with Job. Who we reading that? It happened with Joseph. It happened with Jacob. It happened with Abraham. Everything that they were called for, it worked to their good because they love God. They were called according to what He wanted to do. Y'all not looking at the man and calling y'all according to y'all purpose, but yet you feel like it's a drag because I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to accomplish this and I want to do that. And the Lord's sitting there looking at you. Is it my purpose you concerned with, or is it your purpose you concerned with? Ask yourself that question. Are you concerned with God's purpose for you and His calling for you and what He calling to use you for, or are you concerned about what you want to do? Because you're not going to be able to have both. That man said you must take up your cross and follow Him. He didn't say take up your cross and follow yourself. He said take up your cross and follow me and deny yourself. He said if you don't take up your cross, you can't be His disciple. You're not willing to suffer and take on affliction and follow behind this man. Man said you're not worthy of me. Consider that. That's the words of your Savior. That's the words of the Lord. That man said, why you call me Lord, Lord, and do not the things that I say? Why you going to sit here and say He your master, He your Lord, He got rulership over you, He got authority over you, you don't do what the man tell you to do? How you going to open up your mouth and say that? That's my Lord. I won't do what He say though. He tell me to move, I don't want to move. He tell me to go do this here, oh, I got him. How you going to put God on hold? That's what Sunday people do. We're supposed to be Jews. We don't put God on hold. We're supposed to be getting to the spot where He even tell us to get there because we already know what He wants us to do. We got His word. He put stuff in your heart, y'all procrastinate on it. Man let you know you need to do this, you need to do that. You like to say, I want to do this here first though. Let me finish this here first, Lord. See, matter of fact, I'm going to deal with it tomorrow. Because I got something that I want. I'm going to deal with that tomorrow if the Lord see fit. Look at verse 29. He said, for whom He did foreknow, He also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of His Son, that He might be firstborn among many brethren. That's going back again here to Elder. Moreover, whom He did predestinate, them He also called, and whom He called, them He also justified, and whom He justified, them He also glorified. So what shall we say then to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? A lot of y'all don't look at it. If God's for you, who's going to be against you? And if He calls you, that means He predestinated, He chose you. And if He chose you, He's going to glorify you and justify you. Y'all still don't seem to understand that. We see that with Yahshua. He said, He that spared not His own Son, but delivered Him up for us all, how shall we not with Him also freely give us all things? You got to sit back and look at it. If He didn't spare His own Son, but gave Him up that we might be saved, He said, how shall He not with Him also freely give us all things? And the things that we're looking to be freely given is the things that pertain to God. The Word, the Spirit, everlasting life, a kingdom, the land, eternal life, an everlasting covenant built upon the righteousness of faith in the Son of the only begotten Son of the living God, Yahshua the Messiah our Lord, who has dominion and is blessed forever and ever. Huh? That's the things that He freely given us. That's why I be on y'all to pay attention. Things that we get is free. All it costs you is your time and your service. All it costs you is your obedience. All it costs you is for you to die. All it costs you for is to give yourself up and deny yourself and take up this man's cross. That's all it's going to cost you. See, come on around here to Luke 14 since I mentioned it. That's all it's going to cost you. Luke 14 and 26. He said, if any man come to me and hate not his father, and mother, and wife, and children, and brethren, and sisters, and yea, his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. Some of y'all still don't hate your family. Still don't hate your spouses. Still don't hate your children. And still don't even hate yourself. And when I mean that, meaning you won't put none of that before God. Some of y'all ain't got enough heart to look people in the face and say, hey man, I can't do that. I got to serve God. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you get mad. I don't care if you get upset. I got to serve God. I got service. And when I say service, I'm talking about I have a service to God. I love you, but I love God more than I love you. This man said, how can you love those that hate y'all? Let's sit back and look at that. We ain't sitting here telling you treat your family like crap, but sit back and understand, or your children, or your spouses, but sit back and look at it. Who come before? Who come first? Somebody just told me the other day, an individual told her, hey man, I'll lose my salvation for you. That is a fool. You gotta pray to God that nigga didn't know what he was talking about. Just gotta pray he said that out of ignorance, hoping that would make somebody swear to say, oh, he really loved me, he'll go to hell. You sit back and look at that, that's sad. Some of y'all love people enough to go to hell for them. I don't love nobody enough to go to hell for them. That's a dangerous way of thinking. You can't let nobody take your salvation from you. You can't even let your own self take salvation from you. You've seen the man say you gotta hate your own life also. You got to go, you got to look at that. What I want to do don't compare to what God telling me to do. He said, whosoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. For which of you attending to build a tower, sit not down first and count the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it. Huh? Y'all done sat down and asked you got enough to finish your job? Why you ain't sat down and asked yourself if you got enough? Just sit down and count the cost. Come on back over here to Job 30. That's all I want you to do. Just sit down and count the cost. You got enough to pay. You willing to pay? How many of y'all willing to pay? You willing to pay? Huh? Anyone of y'all willing to pay? Any of y'all in this line? Any of y'all willing to pay? Corey, you willing to pay? All you got to do is hit one chord, so if your hand go up, let me know if you willing to pay. Any of y'all willing to pay the price? Any of y'all willing to pay? I guess with all this hours, I guess ain't nobody willing to pay then. Back over here to Job 30. Appreciate y'all letting us know you were here. Pray the Lord. I see you, Corey. Pray the Lord. Look at that, verse 22. He said, thou lift me up to the wind. Thou callest me to ride upon it and dissolve my substance. For I know that thou wilt bring me to death into the house appointed for all living. Howbeit he will not stretch out his hand to the grave, though they cry in his destruction. Did I not weep for him that was in trouble? And was not my soul grieved for the poor? When I looked for good, then evil came unto me. And when I waited for light, there came darkness. My bowels boiled and rested not. The days of affliction prevented me. I went mourning without the sun, and I stood up and I cried in the congregation. And when we sit back and look at it, then Yahshua know that it was meant for him to die, that he said he had to go to Jerusalem and suffer many things. And that he would have to die, but on the third day he would rise again. That he was appointed to death. He knew he had to die. Then this man cried out in the congregation and say, my God, why you forsaken me? He said, when he looked for good, evil came. He said, when he waited for light, there came darkness. He said, this is their time, the power of darkness, because I must die. This man already knows, I got to go to the grave. He said, I know that thou will bring me to death, to the house appointed for all living. Come on and just read it so you can see what we say. You know, this man knows this. So y'all just ain't thinking I'm saying it. Let me see which one we're going to use here. Luke 22. What we're going to use here? Luke 22. We'll use verse 52 first. He said, then said Yahshua unto the chief priests and captains of the temple and of the elders which came unto him, be ye come out as against a thief or sworn shades? When I was daily with you in the temple, ye stretched forth no hands against me, but this is your hour in the power of darkness. Because that man said, I looked for good and evil came. He said, I looked for light but came darkness. Come on around here to John. I want to say about 16. John chapter 16. John 15, actually 14, about verse 27. Well, actually about 28. He said, you have heard how I said unto you, I go away and come again unto you. If you love me, you will rejoice, because I said I go unto the Father, for my Father is greater than I. And now I have told you before it come to pass, and when it come to pass, you might believe. See, this goes back to what he told Thomas and John. See, we ain't seen him, but yet we believe. We sitting here reading the scriptures that he done told us this stuff before it happened. So then when we go in and we dig it out and we look at it to the intent, we might believe. He said, hereafter I will not talk much with you, for the prince of this world come and have nothing in me. He said, say the prince of the world come. He said, darkness coming. He said, I got to die, darkness coming. He said, but the world may know that I love the Father, as the Father gave me commandment, even so I do. Arise, let us go hence. We have to sit back and look at it. Yahshua giving us commandment, why won't we do it? He given us a commandment that we ought to suffer. That through much tribulation we enter into the kingdom of God. This man told you, in the world you have tribulation, but in me you have peace. Y'all go through suffering, y'all ain't got no peace. You ain't got no peace because you don't trust the Lord. You don't trust Yahshua, because if you did, when you were in your tribulation, you would still have peace because you would be leaning on the Lord. And you wonder why he had to get on y'all by not paying attention. Stop slacking. Stop being slothful and searching these scriptures, about laying this word up in your heart. That's why y'all can't get no peace, because you're not laying the word up in your heart. You don't trust him. And we sit here and you wonder, well, what do I got to do to get my faith right? What do I got to do to trust God? It ain't no magic formula. Just believe him and follow him. Some of y'all got more trust in people than you do in God. How do you trust people more than God? Some of y'all trust your jobs more than you trust God. Some of y'all trust money more than you trust God. Some of y'all trust yourself more than you trust God. How that's going to work? How that's going to work? It's something to consider now. Man wants y'all to consider. Man say, I know the thoughts of every one of y'all that come in your heart. Man say, I know what y'all thinking. The man say, I know what's in your heart. You know where the word coming from for me to be able to hit that whoever might be getting hit. The man know what's in your heart. Man just told you, I search and try the heart. Man said, I use my word to show the thoughts and the intents of your heart. Now what you going to do by the man done proved you out and show what's in your heart? You going to keep it in there, you going to get rid of it. Come to me, there's no magic formula, there's no special elixir. It's either you going to do or die. You going to get it done or you going to die. That's all it is. It's simple as that. That man said, while today is still today, hearken unto his voice, and be not hard-hearted like those who provoked him in the wilderness, because they seen my works for 40 years, and he said they erred, they did not know my ways. Man letting you know his ways, and you still erring. And why? Because you think keeping the commandments is outstanding. Now you need to move on to perfection. The heart of faith need to be developing in you. A love for God need to be developing in you. A trust and a fear for God need to be developing in you. It's a lot of people out here, you know, on the women's side, they wrapping their head, they wearing dresses. So I ain't say a lot of them stop wearing jewelry and makeup and wearing heels, because some of them still doing it. On the men's side, you say, hey, I ain't eating no pork, I'm keeping the Sabbath now, I ain't fornicating, I went and got married, I stopped masturbating, I stopped doing this, I stopped doing that, but yet guess what? You still don't really love God in your heart. You just doing that as a means of a platitude, as if you pacifying this man. But you still don't trust him, because when he puts you in situations where you have to trust him and fully lend your will over to his and be like, Lord, whatever it is, I'm willing to endure it. Y'all ain't willing to do that. That's when it get real. All that whining, all that murmuring, all that complaining, that got to stop. Come on back to 1 Corinthians 10, since he put that in my mind by that. 1 Corinthians 10, about verse 6. Make it verse 5. We good with Job 30. We got one more spot we might go through. We see what the Lord do. 1 Corinthians 10, about verse 1. Listen what the man say. Verse 5, pardon me. He said, but with many of them God was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. Now these things are examples, to the intent that we should not lust after evil things as they also lusted. All that stuff you looking back in the wilderness, that's for an example. That you shouldn't lust after evil things like they did. Some of y'all lust after stuff just like they did, and you're going to get the same reward they got. His man told you for an example now. He said, neither be ye idolaters as were some of them. As is written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. Some of y'all idolaters because you're stubborn. You utterly refuse to obey this man's word. You utterly refuse to do what this man tells you to do. You are an idolater. Man say stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. You are an idolater. And you like to rise up and drink and you want to play. See, but hold on. We'll get to it in a minute about that plan. Verse 8, he said, neither let us commit fornication as some of them committed and fell in one day, 23,000. 320,000. They committed fornication with other gods. Some of y'all commit fornication physically. And guess what? He gonna kill you too. You keep playing with him, you keep testing him, and you keep trying him. Man told you these people for an example now. He said, neither let us tempt the Messiah, as some of them also tempted him and will destroy the servant. Stop trying God about what he can do and what he can't do. A lot of y'all like to tempt this man. They tempted him, can he give us some water? Can he give us some water? He gave him some water, then he killed him. Some of y'all tempt the Lord just like that there. Can he give me this? Can he give me that? Can he do this? Can he do that? He said, yeah, I'm going to give it to you, then I'm going to kill you. That man, where do you think Yahshua got that from? He said, don't tempt y'all thy God. Because the Lord tell you that. Deuteronomy 6 and 16, don't tempt y'all like you did in Massa. And Massa, that's when they tried about, we thirsty, we want some water. That's what got Moses not be able to enter into the land, because he didn't speak to the rock like the Lord told him to. He smote it. Why do you think they smote the Lord? Why do you think they hit him with that reed upside his head? Well, why y'all think they hit? Y'all think they just hit that man upside his head for nothing?
I wonder why too when we went over that day.
Yeah, why y'all think they hit him upside the head? Because Moses hit that rock, and water came out of it. Because they were tempting the man. Can he do this? Can he do that? And some of y'all do that, tempting the Lord. Gonna mess around, man, gonna kill you now. He said, neither murmur as some of them murmured, and were destroyed. All that complaining and mumbling under the breath, what the Lord said they can't do. That's why I tell y'all better watch what y'all say out your mouth. Man, they don't be around here murmuring now. Because man, something to get you out of here. Y'all better sit there and consider that. We got a whole book full of people who disobeyed and erred against God, and we're going to fall around and make the same mistake. We got an open book test. How you going to fail? Then by the grace of the living God, he saw fit to give you a teacher so he can show you, so you don't make the same mistakes and fail an open book test. And you're going to fail it anyway. And you're going to fail it because you don't trust God. The same way that's what messed our people up in the wilderness. They didn't believe in God. They didn't trust in his salvation. Now how long y'all going to walk around here talking about you don't trust God? It's not that hard to trust this man. It ain't that hard. You either believe him or you don't. It's simple as that. Ain't no middle ground. You either believe him or you don't. It's simple as that. You either believe the man say he's going to do what he say he's going to do, or you don't believe he say he's going to do. You either believe into a reward for putting your whole mind, your whole heart, your whole soul, and your whole body into the service of the living God, or you don't. Because if you don't, you lukewarm, that man said, I'm going to spit you out of my mouth, I ain't got no use for you. Now you have to sit back and look at that. Do you want God to have use for you? Get yourself up. Hold on. This ain't serious, people. Our life on the line. And the man is working diligently with every ounce of his being to make sure we get saved. All right. To make sure we get saved. To make sure we have a place in his kingdom. To make sure that he might be fit to call our God, and we might be fit to be called his people. We got to get it together, people. We got to get it together. Verse 11. Now these things happened unto them for an example, and they were written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. This thing was written for an example now. That's an example for us not to do what they did. Consider. Come on right here to Job, the 5th chapter. Come on, we're just going to deal with Job 5, and we'll be done for the night. I got some other stuff. We might touch this Isaiah 51 because it just hit my mind. We got some other stuff too. We got a whole lot of stuff. I thank the Lord. There'll be times I'll be wondering, I'm like, Lord, I don't know what you're going to give us this here. But he always seems to find a way to say, I got something for you. I got something for you. God's faithful. If he's faithful enough to give us a word, why do you think he ain't faithful enough to do anything else for you? Y'all sit here and y'all be knowing, I know the Lord got something for each and every week, but yet you don't think he got nothing for you in your life. Makes no sense. Job 5 and 6. He said, although affliction come not forth out of the dust, neither doth trouble spring out of the ground. Yet man is born under trouble as the sparks fly upward. I would seek unto God, and unto God would I commit my cause, which do great things, unsearchable, marvelous things without number. Come on around here to John 5. He said you do marvelous things without number. John 5. Then we'll deal with some other things of this thing. Good grief is high, man. John 5 and 19. Nigga cooking. I might be well done by the time I get finished. Make it 17. John 5 and 17. He said, but Yahshua answered them, my Father worked here too, and I work. Therefore the Jews sought the more to kill him, because he not only broken the Sabbath, but said also that God was his Father, making himself equal with God. Then answered Yahshua and said unto them, truly, truly, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he see the Father do. For what things soever he do, these also do the Son likewise. For the Father loved the Son, and show him all things that he himself do. And he will show him greater works than these, that ye may marvel. Corey, make sure your phone stay on, man, because it's going to hit the overtime, and if you fall off in the overtime, you're not going to be able to get back on. And it's going to happen in about 3 minutes. So make sure that you keep your line on in. God forbid if it do drop, call in the one of their phones so you could get on a three-way. Well, whoever the case may be, you just text me and let me know, and we'll get you the number. And the anybody number so you can stay on. But nevertheless.
60 seconds.
He says, actually it's 60 seconds, pardon me. He says, for as the Father raised up the dead and quickened them, even so the Son quicken whom he will. For the Father judged no man, but hath committed all judgment unto the Son, that all men should honor the Son, even as they honor the Father. He that honor not the Son, honor not the Father, which hath sent him. Truly, truly, I say unto you, he that hear my word, and believe on him that sent me, have everlasting life, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death unto life. That's what y'all got to sit back and look at it. If you believe on this man, you hear this man's word, and you believe on the man who sent him, who gave him this word, that man said you got everlasting life, and you done pass from death to life. Because you got to look at it. If you ain't got the Spirit, you are a dead man walking. Yahshua just told you that. He said this man just came through to do great things unsearchable, marvelous things without number. Let's go back to Job 5 and let's see what the marvelous things is. He said, who give rain upon the earth and send waters upon the fields, to set up on high those that be low, and those that which mourn may be exalted to safety. So now we sit back and look at it. This man said he give rain upon the earth. How did he give rain upon the earth? Huh? John 16. Matter of fact, just make it Acts 2. Y'all know how he gave rain upon the earth. Always know, he always compared the Spirit to water. He told you in numerous places, I'm going to play out buckets of water. He said, I'm going to open up heaven and rain down righteousness. Acts 2 and 1. He said, when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting. And there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as of fire, and it sat upon each of them. And they were all filled with the Ruach HaKodesh, and began to speak with other tongues as the Spirit gave them utterance. Man sat down right here and just poured down rain. He sent water upon the fields. How do we know he sent water upon the fields? Matthew 13. Think the Lord good to us? Lord good to us. Who agrees? I think the Lord good to us. Who agrees with that assessment? Matthew 13. About verse 23. That's all we want. About verse 23. He said, but he that receives the seed into the stony ground is he that hear the word and understand it, which also bear fruit and bring forth, some 100-fold, some 60, and some 30. Man say, I poured upon the ground now. Because he already told you that affliction come not forth out of the dust, neither does trouble spring out of the ground. Some didn't spring out of the ground when Yahshua came out of the grave, like did. That's why the man came and told you, man born in trouble, sparks fly upward. He said, I seek to God and commit my cause to him. A lot of y'all don't seek God and commit your cause to him. A lot of y'all don't do that. Hold on one second. Corey, you can hear me? Let me know you hear me.
Yeah, I hear you.
Alright, just making sure. sit back and look at it. He said he gave rain upon the earth. He sent water upon the field. He said the seed that fall in the good ground, he said I'm going to send water on that seed so it brings forth fruit. Let's go and look at the fruit. Just one more time because you need to hear it. Galatians 5. Y'all need to hear the fruit. This is the byproduct of what this man's word should be bringing in, y'all. Galatians 5, y'all. Y'all just bear with me. We ain't been going too long. We alright. We ain't going too long. Verse 22. He said, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. God will never tell you not to do that. 2 Peter 1. Now I'm going to sit here and we're going to tell you, we're going to read something else now. 2 Peter 1 now. Verse 4. Make it 3. You done heard it before, you're going to hear it again. The man sit here and say, I done watered the field now. This is what should be producing from that water in that field. The seed been planted. That's the word. Now you want your field to be watered. Listen to what the man tell you. According as the divine power is given unto us all things that pertain unto life and godliness, this is why we be on you. Everything we deal with pertains to life and godliness. This is the whole point of why we're going through this book. Through the knowledge of him that has called us to glory and virtue. Through the knowledge that's in Yahshua. Everything we just looked at when we just read, dealing in Job 30, dealing in Jeremiah 49, dealing with all the things that this man sees fit to let us know, is so we can have the knowledge of him that we can be called to receive the glory and virtue that's in him. The glory and the pureness that's in him. To get his spirit. Listen what else he tells you. Whereby are he given unto us great and exceeding promises, that by these you might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust. All that's what the purpose is, that you might receive the divine nature to escape the lust of the world. That's all this is about. This is what this is about. He says, besides this, giving all diligence. Diligence. Be serious about what you're doing. Be diligent. Now listen what he tells you. Add to your faith virtue. How about you get yourself pure? How about you get yourself clean? And he's saying the virtue knowledge. Now he said this. Now you get the knowledge of the Son of God. Why don't you pay attention to it laid up in your heart? Then look what else he says you need to add. And the knowledge temperance. How about you learn to control yourself? Because the scriptures say in the book of Proverbs, a man that don't have rule over his spirit is like a city without walls. He said, and to temperance, patience. How about you learn to be patient? How about you learn to wait on God? How about you be patient with people like God been patient with you? How about you learn to be able to know to wait on God? The book says, blessed is he that waits for me. He said, the patience, godliness. How about you get yourself Kodesh and set yourself apart? And the godliness, brotherly kindness, and the brotherly kindness, charity. He said, how about you learn to show, be kind to those who do the will of God, whom you say is your brother? And he said, when you add that brotherly kindness, how about you say you love him? How about you show love to him? He said, for if these things be in you and abound, they make you that you shall neither be barren nor unfruitful in the knowledge of our Lord, Yahshua the Messiah. He said, guess what? You won't be unfruitful if these things are abiding in your heart. If that seed in there, you can let the man water. Look what else he tell you. He said, but he that lack these things, he said, but if you lack these things, that man say you blind and you can't see afar off and have forgotten that he was purged from his old sin. That man said, you done forgot what type of person you were beforehand if you lack these things. And look what else he tell you though. He said, wherefore rather, brethren. But guess what? Instead of that, brothers and sisters, look what he said. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence. Give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, ye shall never fall. Now you got these people sitting here talking about we fall down and we get up. You seen when a nigga tagged me and all that stuff. But this man said if these things is in you, you ain't gonna fall. So if you wonder why he falling, why did he have it? Because these things not in you. And if they ain't in you, then you need to do something. Come on around here to 1 Corinthians 13. He just brought that back to mind. Come on around here to 1 Corinthians 13. Corinthians 13. I want you to look at verse 4. Matter of fact, we'll just start at verse 1. He said, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not love, I become as a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, so that to remove mountains, If I have no charity, I am nothing. That man said, I can have all these things, but if I don't love God, I'm absolutely nothing. Y'all sure just told you, if you don't abide in him and he abide in you, you can't do nothing. If you don't love God, you can't do nothing. He said, I can remove mountains, I can understand prophecies, I can understand all mysteries, how to give the prophecy, but if I don't love God, I'm nothing. He said, though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned and have not love, it profit me nothing. And you be like, how can he not have love if he give all his goods to the poor? If he offered himself to be burned up because he didn't love God. That's what it didn't profit him none. Look what else he say. He said, love suffer long. So guess what? God had long suffering. We know that's the attribute of God. Lord had much patience with us as a people. That's one of his attributes. That's a part of his spirit. You just heard it in the fruits of the spirit. So guess what? If you're going to have love with others, have the love of God in you, you're going to have to learn to have patience with others. He say it's kind. He say love envy not. See, that's something y'all got to sit back and look at. Love don't envy nobody else. Love don't envy what somebody else got or what somebody else doing. Love don't do that. That man told you, don't be envious of one another, desiring vain glory. Don't be doing that. He say love vaunt not itself, is not puffed up. Say love don't lift itself up over nobody. We know the Lord made himself with no reputation. That's what he told us in Philippians. Lord said, don't tell nobody I'm the Messiah. He didn't lift himself up. Man sat there and told you, he said, I'm your minister. I'm the elder, and I'm going to serve the younger. So I'm not going to lift myself up. He said, he that humbles himself going to be exalted. I said, I'll let the Father do that. We just read that last night. He said, humble yourself under God, and he'll exalt you. He'll lift you up in due time. Let's see what else he said. He said, it does not behave itself unseemly, nor seek his own, is not easily provoked, and think no evil. So guess what? Say if you got love in you, you got the love of God in you, you ain't doing no foul stuff. And you say, and you ain't seeking what's yours. So you'll seek the help of others. That go back to what the Lord told Paul. It's blessed to give than receive. Look what else he told him though. And he says not easily provoked. So if somebody can easily provoke you, the love of God's not in you at that present time. You're going to have to do something about that. And it says don't think no evil. So if you got evil in your heart, you want to do something about that. He said rejoice not in iniquity, but rejoice in the truth. See, don't rejoice in lawlessness. So we have to sit back and look at that. Music, television shows, movies, people we be around, you have to be careful not to rejoice in iniquity, but rejoice in the word of God. Just consider it. Just remember that. He said love never fail. Love of God never fail now. But whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. And whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. He said, when I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. You know what he's talking about right here? While we were babies in the Messiah, we should think like it. But the time's going to come, you're going to have to grow up. You're going to have to be fully mature. All that stuff you used to do when you were young and immature and simple, it's got to stop. Okay? You used to think as a child. You used to speak as one. You understood as one. He told you in another place, he said in malice, be children. But in understanding, be men. In understanding, it's time for us to be fully mature adults. All that I'm young, and this all I know, and all, guess what? Every last one of us done been through something in our life. Ain't not near one of us done been through something that ain't been through nothing. Hey, hold on, y'all. Hey, Hezekiah, we going through the book right now, so unless you want to join in, I'm going to have to end the call. Alright. So when we sit back and look at this, every last one of us done been through something in our lifetime. Some people done been through harder things than others. But we can no longer use these things as crutches and excuses for continuing for immature and childish behavior. When the Lord is giving us the opportunity to grow and mature, to be full adults, to be men, to be women, to be the people of God. So you understood as a child, not a man giving you the information the way you don't think as one no more. You thought as a child, you spoke as a child, you did as a child, not be a woman, not be a man. And conduct yourself accordingly. Come on back here to Job 5. Lord willing, another time, because we just not going to be dealing with that all night, because we want to get the Job 5 out of the way. We'll go through the scriptures and go through it in great detail what Paul was talking about here in this particular passage. But right now, for time's sake, we're not going to do that to you. No? You all right over there, man? Or you just hot? Now we looked at verse 11. He said to set up those on high those that be low, and those that which mourn may be exalted and saved, because he already told you, blessed is those that mourn, they shall be comforted. Y'all already learned that. Y'all been taught that. Y'all already know what that is. That's Noah. That's Noah. That's the whole household. That's the comforter. That's Noah. That's Joshua. Y'all know this. We just read the man say, he that humbles himself shall be exalted. Humble yourself under the mighty hand of God and lift you up in due time. Y'all know this. You've been taught this. So when you hear things of that nature, your heart should be comforted. Your faith should be strengthened. You should know that God says the same things in different places. Places where you got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 witnesses telling you the same thing, and yet your heart still don't trust in the Lord. Verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He take the wise in their own craftiness, and he calls the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. Now listen to this here. Let's go back over here to 1 Corinthians 2, because we heard him say, Father, forgive, they don't know what they're doing. He said the devices of the crafty, he said he take them, and he throw them down to the ground. We already read that in that instance in Acts 1 earlier with Judas. You tried to be slick, but I destroyed that work. You see how the Lord take this stuff and tie all the stuff back in. I thank the Lord. And y'all be wondering, I'm sitting there telling you, Lord good to us. We need to really consider it. 1 Corinthians 2. First Corinthians 2. Verse 17. I'm sorry, not verse 17, but 1 Corinthians 1 and 17. Pardon me on that. 1 Corinthians 1 and 17. He said, for the Messiah sent me not to baptize, but to preach the gospel, not with the wisdom of words, lest the cross of the Messiah should be made of none effect. For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness, but unto us which are saved is the power of God. You see, I ain't coming to y'all preaching y'all no wisdom of words. I'm preaching y'all the cross of the Messiah, the suffering, the afflictions of the Messiah. And for us, that is salvation. That's the power of God. It's foolishness to other people. To us, that's supposed to be the power of God. And y'all just here. Y'all just here. It's not the power of God to y'all. This is the power of God. Listen what else he says. He said, for it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Have God made foolish the wisdom of the world? We've seen that there with those who came to kill Yahshua. He made their wisdom foolish. They said, oh, let's kill him. The Romans going to take our place in nation. He said, I'm going to make y'all out to be fools in a minute. This is what else he said. For after that in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God. It pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. See, they didn't know God because they were going by their own wisdom, by their own thoughts. See, come on around here to Matthew 15, pardon me. Matthew 15. Matthew 15 about verse 1. He said, then came to Yahshua scribes and Pharisees which were of Jerusalem, saying, why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. But he answered and said of them, why do you also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition? For God commanded, saying, honor thy father and mother, and he that cursed father or mother, let him die to death. But ye say, whoever shall say to his father or his mother, it is a gift, by whatsoever thou might be profited by me. And honor not his father or his mother, he shall be free. Thus you have made the commandment of God of none effect by your tradition. Ye hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying, this people draw nigh unto me with their mouth, and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for the doctrine and the commandments of men. That's the wisdom of the world right there. See, come on over here to Colossians 2. That's the wisdom of the world right there. We're not teaching y'all the wisdom of the world. We compare spiritual things with spiritual. We comparing the word with the word. Colossians 2 and about verse 6. Make it 5. Because this goes true for a lot of y'all right now. Lord willing, some of y'all, this won't ring true for much longer. He said, for though I be absent in the flesh, yet I'm with you in the spirit, joying and beholding your order and the steadfastness of your faith in the Messiah. I want to be able to joy and behold that I know that you walk orderly and you steadfast in your faith in this man. That will bring joy to my heart. Matter of fact, hold this in here and look at 2 John. It might be 3 John. See, this is what I want to be able to say. 3 John about verse 2. Matter of fact, just make it verse 1. Third epistle of John, verse 1. You got to understand this here. See, I get joy from what he's about to say. I feel the same way John feels. We get joy from this. Listen to what he tells you now. The elder unto the well-beloved Gaius, whom I love in the truth. Beloved, I wish above all things that thou may prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prosper. For I rejoice greatly when the brethren came and testified of the truth that is in thee, even as thou walk in the truth. He said, I have no greater joy than to hear that my children walk in truth. So I have no greater joy. Because just like Paul said, he said, you might have many instructors, but you have one father because I begot you in the gospel. You have to sit back and look at it. This man done had me birth you into the word by teaching you of him. That's what Paul was telling you. He said, I sat down, I birthed you in this thing. I taught you this thing. I showed you this man. You think I'm not going to have joy that y'all walk in love? That y'all walk in the word? I'm going to get joy from that. I'm going to get joy from y'all walking steadfast in the faith of the Messiah and walking orderly. I think it's over. Y'all give me 1 second.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
So hold on. So now we look at this here. Now look what else he say. Back to Colossians 2 verse 5. Back to Colossians 2 verse 5. Colossians 2 verse 5. So now we look at it now. He said, for though I be absent in the flesh, yet I am with you in the spirit, joying and beholding your order and the steadfastness of your faith in the Messiah. As you have therefore received the Messiah, Yahshua the Lord, so walk ye in him, rooted and built up in him, established in the faith as you have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. That's what y'all need to know. You done received the Yahshua the Messiah, our Lord, walk in him. Be rooted and built up in him, just like you've been taught to do. You want to know how to increase your faith and do better? Just do what you've been taught. And abound with thanksgiving to God through what you've been taught. He said, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after the Messiah. You better sit back and consider that lest a man come and get you. Spoil you through the traditions of the world, you find yourself messed up. Come on back over here to 1 Corinthians 2.
No.
1 Corinthians 2 and 4, one more time. 1 Corinthians 2 and 4. Alright, something wrong with your Bible?
Yeah, but I'm going to kind of lock up on me.
Oh, that's horrible. He said, my speech and my preaching was not enticing words of man's wisdom, but a demonstration of the Spirit and of power. Are we been demonstrating y'all the Spirit and power, or I've been enticing you with man's wisdom? Y'all be the judge. That your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God. Is your faith standing in my wisdom or in the power of God? I'll let you be the judge. Howbeit we speak the wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor of the princes of this world that come to naught, but we speak the wisdom of God in the mystery, even the hidden wisdom which God ordained before the world unto our glory, which none of the princes of this world knew, for had they known it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. You see, he took the wisdom of the crafty, and he made this here, and he made it headlong, because they didn't know. See, look at John 11, and let's sit back and let's see what Kathy has told him. God think Kathy has told him, y'all don't know what you're talking about. He said, y'all have no idea what you're talking about. See, all this stuff that all these people, they going to be plotting to do to us and kill us and lock us up. It don't make no difference about the wisdom of this world. These things must be. We must suffer these things. But the Lord said, I'm going to make it work out in the end. It's going to work out to you good in the end. You call according to my purpose. Because I'm going to take their wisdom and their counsel, and I'm going to make it nothing. John 11 and about verse 49. Verse 48 actually. He said, we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. And one of them named Cappius, being the high priest that same year, said unto them, You know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not. And this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Yahshua should die for that nation. See, these men didn't even understand the scripture said they'd kill him, that he hadn't died. And if they would have really known what they were doing, they wouldn't even kill him. Tie right back in, the Father said, when he said, Father, forgive me, they don't know what they're doing. See, come on back to Acts and let's see if Peter tell you the same thing. He said, I pray you did it out of ignorance. I pray you didn't know what you were doing. Acts 3 and 13. The God of Abraham and of Isaac and of Jacob, the God of our fathers, hath glorified his son Yahshua, whom ye delivered up, and denied him in the presence of Pilate when he was determined to let him go. But ye denied the Kodesh one and the just, and desired a murderer to be granted unto you, and killed the Prince of Life, whom God raised from the dead, whereof we are witnesses. And his name, through faith in his name, has made this man strong. That's what y'all got to sit back and look at. Now, he's talking about them healing somebody, but this man told you, trust in Yah forever, for trust in Yah is everlasting strength. If you believe and trust in this man's name, you will get strength. You'll get strength to endure all things. But y'all just don't believe that. You hear it, but you don't believe it. You've got to believe you'll get strength through this man's name to endure all things. So what else you say now? Whom ye see and know, yea, the faith which is by him, have given him this perfect soundness and the presence of you all. I'm telling you, he basically just told you what Isaiah said, word for word, talking about why this man was healed. Because he said, I keep you in perfect peace. That's perfect soundness. It's faith in this man's name that's going to give you perfect soundness. It's faith in this man that's going to give you perfect peace if you would just believe. This man said, all things are possible to them that believe. He said, now, brethren, I walked that through ignorance you did it, as did your rulers. He said, I hope to God you didn't because you didn't know. Now, y'all got to sit back and look at here. Look at all this information we get. Is y'all lack of trust in God because you don't know, or just because you don't believe? I walk that it's through ignorance that you're doing the things that you're doing, because you just don't know. That's what my prayer. Let that be my hope, that you just ignorant. Don't just let me, just don't let it, God forbid it just because you just outright just disobedient and unbelieving. We're going to pray it's just ignorance. Come on back to Job 5. I hope that it's just ignorance. Yeah, I've been there and it sucks. Verse 14, everybody. Who ain't going to keep y'all much longer? Y'all can't take no more. He done already put that in my mind about 3-4 minutes ago. I'm gonna wrap this thing up. Y'all can't take no more. He said, they met with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night. But he saved the poor from the sword and from the mouth and from the hand of the mighty. So the poor have hope and iniquity stop her mouth. Now let's look at this, how he saved the poor from the sword and from their mouth and from the hand of the mighty, that the poor might have hope and sin stop her mouth. Let's see where the poor got hope at. James 2, verse 5. Let's see where the poor have hope. A lot of y'all ashamed to be poor for some reason. Yeah, it ain't the greatest position to be in the world. Everybody love to have some more money. But sometimes the Lord don't give you some more money because a lot of you niggas wouldn't know what to do with it. A lot of y'all will turn and stop serving the Lord if you got your hands on some more money. You'll go buck wild. You'll forget about it. Matter of fact, before we go to that, let's go to Proverbs 30 before we go to this James. So, thank you, Lord. Proverbs 30. I'm going to show you why this is the type of mind you should have. Because a lot of y'all want some money. But he already know. And I know from some of the things y'all do and y'all say, y'all can't handle more money. You wouldn't know what to do with it. Proverbs 30 and 5. A lot of stuff he keeping back from y'all for your own good. He keep a lot of stuff back for y'all from your own good. He said, every word of God is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. Man say he'll protect you. Just put your trust in him. And add thou not unto his words, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar. Two things have I required of thee. Deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Has God removed far from y'all vanity and lies? Because if he don't remove far from you vanity and lies, you are ahead of the curve. But look what else a man asked God to do for him. He said, give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. Lest I be full and deny thee and say, who is Yah? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my God in vain. This man said, I don't want no riches. He said, I might get full and deny you. And say, who is Yah? I don't know no Yah. I'm getting this money, man. I got money, man. I got all the money I need. Who is God? What God? He said, don't let me be poor neither. Then I steal. Then I done took Yah's name in vain, because I done profaned it by committing sin. 1 Timothy 6 and 10. 1 Timothy 6 and 10. Maybe make it verse 4. I don't know if y'all done heard this before. I ain't preached it in a while. Make it verse 3. Listen what the man tell you. He said, any man teach otherwise and consent not to wholesome words, even the words of our Lord Yahshua the Messiah, into the doctrine which is according to godliness. Guess what, y'all? If anybody teach anything or don't consent to the wholesome words of the Lord, nor the doctrine of co-destiny, this is what this man said. He's proud. He knows nothing but doing about questions and strife of words, whereof come envy, strife, railings, and evil surmises. I see it all the time. Guess what else he say? Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness, from such withdraw thyself. But godliness with contentment is great gain. This man just told you, you come around people, they got diverse disputings, these men's mind is corrupt, they like the truth, because they think because you gaining material items, that means God with you. And he just sat here and told you, you need to get away from them people. Listen what else he said. He said, we brought nothing into this world, and it's certain we can carry nothing out. You came in this world butt booking naked. How many of y'all came in this world with some clothes and shoes, an automobile, a bank account, a house, and all them things? You came in here butt naked with blood in the umbilical cord. He said, when you leave here, you're going straight back to the dust from whence you came. So he said, guess what? How about you just have godliness and be content with that? He said, if you co-dest and be content with that, he said, that's great gain. That's profit. This is what else he said. He said, having food and raiment, let us be there with content. As long as you got food, clothing, and shelter, you should be straight. It's always nice to have a little bit more money, but I'm going to tell you something real. And I done seen this with my own two eyes. A little bit more money don't really cure most ills. You might think it do, because then when you get a little bit more money, you feel like you need a little bit more stuff. And then after a while, you feel like you need a little bit more money. And in this society, you always going to be behind. You know what they call it? They call it the rat race. Because you're never going to be able to keep up. And most of us are black who hear the sound of my voice right now. So guess what that means? These people not never, ever, ever going to let you get the same amount of money they got. And if you do, you're going to have to do some unseemly things to get it. You're going to have to compromise a few things. I ain't talking about just spreading your booty hole for these people or worshiping the devil. You might just have to compromise some things that you just stand for in your pursuit of money. This is where money is going to be one. It's the top two reasons why a lot of people going to go to hell. It's penis and vagina and money. Because they desire to want to have sex and they desire to want to achieve money. That's what's going to take them to hell. And some people, they have both of them things in their heart. So they double in trouble. Verse 10. For the love of money is the rule. He said, listen what he said in verse 9. But they that which will be rich fall into temptation and a snare. You hear what he said? If you're going to be rich, that's why this man said, don't let me be rich. He said, lest I get full and deny Yah and say, who is Yah? That man said, you go in temptation and a snare. You can be tried. It's a trap. He said, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts which drown men in destruction and perdition. That means a lot of desires come up. You can do a lot more things. He said they're going to drown you in sin and death. He said for the love of money. He says not the money, it's the love for it. It's the lust of it. It's the root of all evil. Which while some coveted after. He said while you coveted after this money, they've erred from the faith. You done erred from God. Keep in mind, this is what the book said. This is what I said now. And have pierced themselves through with many sorrows. So what you thought was going to make you happier, book just says it's going to make you even worse. It's going to make you more sorrowful. He said, but thou, O man of God, flee these things and follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, meekness. So they follow after them things. Because see, some of y'all would rather choose to have that than to take on affliction. See, come on around here to Hebrews 11. Let's see something about that. Hebrews 11, about verse 23. Hebrews 11, about verse 23. I ain't got much longer. I ain't keep y'all much longer. Y'all just bear with me. We'll finish this out. Because I know y'all can't take no more. He said, by faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents because they thought he was a proper child. They were not afraid of the king's commandment. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. Listen to what he'd rather did. Choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. That man said, I'd rather suffer with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. Guess what? Guess what? Yahshua did that when the devil came and tempted him. He turned down all the pleasures of sin for a season rather than to come down to suffer with the children of God. Now you got to sit back and look at that. Y'all willing to suffer with the people of God? Y'all willing to suffer for the children of God and turn down the pleasures of sin for a season? Because y'all be quick to see here these old Sunday church hoes talking about I'm blessed and highly favored, I'm walking in my season. Now you know what they talking about when they say they walking in their season. They walking in sin. They enjoying the pleasures of that sin for a season, but them hoes going to hell. Huh? Y'all ever want? See, I used to sit and think about that. I used to hear these old false pretending hypocrite and whores lines. It's my season, and I always wonder why these stupid ignorant women say that. And then the Lord let me know, yeah, this they latter end, son. This they latter end. They enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season, but they going to hell. They don't want to suffer affliction. He said, I've given what they want. And at the end of the day, what they want will be a snare and a trap, and I'm going to let it take them to hell. Because they didn't have a love for the truth, so I damned them. And I'm going to laugh at them when they fear come, and I'm going to mock them when they calamity come. Because when I called, they did not answer. And when I spoke, they did not hear. He said, but they chose to do evil before my eyes, and to partake in the things that I hate. Look what that man said. This man said he esteemed the reproach of the Messiah greater riches than the treasures of Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. That's what the problem with is with a lot of y'all. Y'all don't esteem the dishonor, the suffering of the Messiah than the treasures of America. Y'all think the treasures of bondage, y'all esteem that more than the reproach of the Messiah. You esteem that more because you don't have respect to the payback of that reward. Y'all don't have respect unto that reward because you can't see it. See, a lot of y'all young, and y'all come from the generation of instant gratification. That's why some of y'all wondering how long it's going to take for me to get the Spirit, because you expect everything to come quickly. Because that's how you've been living your life. This is what makes me feel good. I'm going to get it because it makes me feel better. You have no patience. This man said you need to start esteeming the reproach of the Messiah. You need to start esteeming those riches. You need to start having respect to the payback of the reward of godliness, or you're not going to make it. The man says a lot of people are going to try to enter in at the straight gate, and they're not going to be able to enter in. God forbid that be any one of you. God forbid he would talk about any one of y'all, because he was talking about somebody. He prophesied somebody's going to try to get into this gate, and they're not going to be able to get it. God forbid it be any one of you. He said, because we persuaded of things of salvation for you. So the things that pertain to salvation, thus we speak. We persuaded that you save your soul. Come on back over here to Job. We'll wrap this thing up. I already know. Y'all can't bet no more. Let me finish this on that. Job 5 and 17. He said the poor have hope. That's what it was. James 2 and 5. Let's see what the poor have hope. And iniquity is stopped our mouth. James 2 and 5. See, the poor got hope, y'all. Some of y'all don't believe that, though. James 2 and 5. He said, hearken, my beloved brethren, have not God chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith, heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him? He said, but you despise the poor. Do not rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seat? Do you not blaspheme that worthy name by which you are called? See, they hate the poor. But God said he loved the poor. Look at Matthew 5. Let's see what the Lord said about the poor. You see, while you sitting here looking like you ain't got no working money, this man said they rich in faith, though. Remember, he said the riches of the Messiah are unsearchable. Unsearchable. Matthew 5 and 3. Unsearchable. Not going to find it nowhere on earth. He said, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Poor got hope, y'all. They got hope. Now what you hope in? You hope in money or you hope in God? We already dealt with this not too long ago. The Messiah came to make us rich through his poverty. Yet y'all still concerned about you ain't got nothing in this life. When this man makes sure that the things that you need and require you have, but yet you still not satisfied. So you say, you know what? You're going to mess around. He going to let you get the things of his life, but you're not going to get the things of heaven, though. You're not going to get both. Let's see how he made iniquity stop on mouth. John 3 and 5. We'll wrap it up. We ain't going to go in great detail. He said, you know that he was manifested to take away our sins, and in him is no sin. Whosoever abide in him sin not. Whosoever sin have not seen him, neither known him. Little children, let no man deceive you. He that do righteousness is righteous, even as he is righteous. He that commits sin is of the devil, for the devil sinned from the beginning. For this purpose the Son of God was manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil. And this is when he stopped them out. Yahshua came and stopped sin. He freed you from it. She stopped. And all because of what? Job 5 and 17. All because of this right here. All because of this right here. The main thing that a lot of y'all trying to buckle. Behold, blessed, happy. You got a lot of people be talking about they blessed. You'll never hear them say they blessed with it. Blessed is the man whom God corrects. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. Yahshua didn't despise that correction. He didn't despise that chastening. Some of y'all do. Some of y'all despise affliction. Yahshua didn't despise it. He said, I'm blessed to be afflicted by God. How many people y'all ever heard say, I'm blessed, man. God corrected me. I'm blessed, man. God chastised me. For he makes sore, and he bind up, he wound, and he make hands whole. He said he made sore. But he bound Yahshua up, didn't he? He rose him from the dead. He wounded him, he made him whole. He made him whole. Come on over here to Luke 24:25. We'll be done. Luke 24 and 25. We'll be done. We're going to stop right here. Luke 24 and 25. We're going to stop right here. We ain't going no more. Then he said unto them, O fools, and slow of heart, to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Ought not the Messiah to have suffered these things to enter into his glory? Praise be to y'all in the name of Yahshua for his word, for his mercies, for codesness, for wisdom, for knowledge, for understanding, for opportunity to have fellowship with the mystery of the Messiah, that our souls might be saved. Y'all understood all these things this evening? Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.